I have great respect for him. You should hear his podcast, read his fantastic book, and understand how at a relatively young age, he is a repository of wisdom, not from a single verse, but thousands of texts, 5,000 years of history, where we say proudly, Dushyanth, if you don't understand Hindu civilization, you can never understand Indian civilization. Bharatiya Sanskriti is centered around Hindu Sanskriti. This is a fact, right? Dushyanth, our dear hypocrite Rahul Gandhi says that Hinduism is patriarchal. Could I have a substantive response from you on that?
Namaskaram, Arnab, and namaskaram to my fellow panelists, and namaskaram to all the viewers who are watching us on Republic. Very quickly, Arnab, I'm not here to, I'm no political person. I'm not going to use this first thing stating, what about the other religions? That's not my forte. No. Second thing, I am never going to say that this is an insertion. This is there in the Manu Smriti. But we need to first understand the context in which it is set so that the viewers get benefited. On one side, Manu Smriti says, I'm just quoting the text. It says in one place, Pita rakshati kaumare bharta rakshati yauvane rakshanti sthavire putra na stri swatantriyam arhati. The simple meaning is, the woman is protected by her father till a certain stage, then by her husband, then by her sons, and therefore she lacks independence. This is the exact translation. Point number one. On the other side, it also says that a woman
One minute. You said protected. Rahul Gandhi said owned. Am I right, Subbuhi? He said Rahul Gandhi changed the meaning when he presented it on stage. That very verse, he gave another meaning to it. Yes, please continue, sir. Thank you.
So, Arnab, the word is very simple. Pita rakshati kaumare. So the word is raksha. The dhatu is only to protect. That aside, on the other side, we have multiple statements you've quoted at the Upodghatam, the introduction itself. Yatra naryastu pujyante vasanti tatra devataha ramanti tatra devataha. Woman is to be respected, and that's where all the gods reside. How do we reconcile between the two? The context. The context is very simple, Arnab. In that particular verse comes in a place where the sacrifices are performed, which we call yajna havan, through fire. The person who performs, the householder, the grihastha, is called pati. In our general understanding, we call any husband as pati. But in the bhasha, in the language, a person who performs the fire sacrifices is called pati. The one who assists in the sacrifice and helps its completion is called patni. In our general understanding, patni means wife. Only if the husband is called pati, she is called patni. Otherwise, there are other words like jaya, kalatram, and so on. It is only in this context he performs the yajna. She is dependent on her father and her mother who are performing the sacrifice. She is dependent on her husband who is performing the sacrifice. She is dependent on her son who is performing the sacrifice. It does not talk about any human goals, purusharthas like dharma, artha, kama. And if that were true, if the statement is generic, stating that a woman can never be independent, then we will never have a Rani, a queen called Meenakshi, who rules Tamil Nadu. We will never have a Rani called Rudramma Devi. We would never have a list of people like Lopamudra, Godha, Gosha, Vishwavara, Apala, Aditi. They are all women who have been ranked at par with Maharshis called Brahmavadinis. So we wouldn't have any of these women writing poems like Gangama Devi, who wrote a poem called Madhura Vijayam. So we had poets, we had dramatists, we had Brahmavadinis, we had queens, we had fighters, our devatas, we just had Varalakshmi Vratam. Soon we will be having Navaratri. So the verse appears in a context. Only if your thoughts are mischievous, first of all, you wouldn't have read the text at all, which is fine, but you would take it out of context, change words, and confuse people. So I would just pray that never do this. I wouldn't talk about other religions because that's not my forte. I would just say, restrict yourself, because, on just one last statement. Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, has seen many onslaughts and slanders and fights. Yet the civilization has withstood all its times. People who have spoken ill about Sanatana Dharma, they even lost their own constituency in Tamil Nadu. And that party which spoke ill of Sanatana Dharma is out of power. Time and karma will always teach, or not. This is where I would stop.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, in this brilliant start of the discussion this evening, and I welcome Nalin Kohli and Subbuhi as well, what we have been able to